ambitious, great, motivated leaders, enthusiastic, excited about life, creative, thought-provoking entrepreneurs. This one's for you. Welcome to Feel Free TV. My name is Melissa. I'm your host, and today we have the lovely Samantha Holloway from the Holloway Firm. It's so great to have her. She has had the desire to go to law school, and out of the 15 she applied to, she got accepted to one. But she went on and did it anyway, made that leap, went to a state that she knew no one, no family, no friends, and from there her career has excelled. She's now gone on to launch her own law firm called the Holloway Firm. Hi, Samantha.
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. I feel like your journey is kind of one for the books, just the way that it evolved. So tell us a little bit about how you got into law.
Okay. Usually when people talk about why they want to become a lawyer, they always have this great story.
Yeah.
You know, my parents died in this fiery car crash,
Right.
Or I was in prison for 15 years.
You need justice.
Exactly.
You're trying to find it, and
I just don't have that story.
Okay.
I've obviously have had challenges in my life. Everybody has. When I was in college, I was an African American Studies major. Just personally, I was drawn to it. I wanted to learn more about myself and my culture, my family, why we do the things that we do, how do we get to where we are right now. And when I graduated, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I took the LSAT because I felt drawn to law,
Right.
And I didn't do well. So I worked for 2 years for an insurance company, and I took it again, and I did actually worse the second time.
And that
first
happens.
time.
They say that your best scores are your first scores.
Yeah.
So retaking it is probably
Yeah.
not the best option.
And I did, like I said, I did worse than I did the first time, but something was really drawing me to it. I'm an excellent writer. I'm a great communicator. And that kind of shone through with my application and obviously my letters of recommendation and things like that. So that's how I kind of got to law school. But I wish I had this great story. Other than, I guess the greatest story could be that there was something that was pulling me to it. And even though I decided to take another route, it was always something that was drawing me to it, and I finally kind of answered that call.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because people think that you're going to have this amazing signal or sign that's going to say, okay, do this. But at the end of the day, it could be just pure intuition or pure longing for something, and you don't really know what it is, but you go ahead and do it anyway.
Right. And I completely agree. I think that if there's something that you have in the back of your mind, I'm a very faith-based person, so I don't believe that thoughts are just placed in your mind. I think that if God gives you an idea, He gives you a vision, and you should kind of look into that, and that may be where you need to be and what you need to do.
Right, and that's awesome. And clearly it was the right path, because now you have your own law firm, and I'd love to talk about that, the transition from working for the government and doing these, holding these great positions, and still feeling unfulfilled and needing to step out and do something on your own.
Well, I've been working for the government at this point for about 5 years. I had worked in DC and had transferred to the regional office in Atlanta, where I went to school. So I was, I thought that moving to a different location would kind of give me the fulfillment that I was looking for.
Right.
But I think even in moving, there was still a part of me that wanted more. And I don't think that I could have gotten that unless I kind of took control of my own destiny, my own career. I think it's something weird about our generation. I think maybe our parents, or even before them, their generation, they open businesses, they open restaurants, a lot of us are now, I would say a lot of us were content with just working for someone else and not kind of realizing our own potential and utilizing our own ambition. And I love to see now that more people my age are saying, I may have this career, I may make 6 figures, I may have been here 5 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
but I'm finally going to step out and do what I believe I was supposed to do.
Right.
So I think, back to your question, I'm just talking, but back to your question about just not feeling fulfilled. I didn't feel fulfilled, and it wasn't the job, it was me. And I think that it takes, you get to that point when you realize it doesn't matter what you do. You can't give me more money. You can't give me
no price on
right.
peace, happiness.
Right.
There's no price to it.
Right. And I think that it took for me to say, I talked to my dad about this too, about what you're willing to give up.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stay at a job so that I can keep a house or a car or look a certain way or maintain a certain status for the public when you know that you're supposed to be doing more and you're unhappy where you are. And I think that, like you said, peace, you can't put a price tag on peace. No. You can't put a price tag on happiness. You can't put a price tag on fulfillment.
That's true. So that's wonderful. You started this amazing law firm and it's feeling good. And I know there were struggles in that.
Yeah, I was with the business. I actually had another business.
Okay.
While I was working for the government, I started a small business with women's accessories. Okay. And so I would go to different events and fairs and things like that. And I didn't really treat it as a business. I treated it as a hobby.
Yeah.
So
many entrepreneurs do that. Yeah. That's what we do because it's our passion, what we love to do, and it's in the business aspect of it. Just is so foreign to something creative.
Right.
But people are now starting to merge that together and really starting to make some lucrative businesses that's full of passion and full of love and life.
Yeah. So I knew that, I would say this, that business wasn't as profitable as I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. And it was not the product. A lot of it was me. Yeah. In the practices, the things that I've done. And so when I knew I wanted to start the law firm, I started reading books. Mm-hmm. I started talking to other people I know that have their own law firm. I listened to podcasts. I did a lot of things for free. Mm-hmm. SCORE. I went and met with SCORE, which is kind of a division with the SBA that helps small business owners kind of start and kind of work out some of the issues. They have free mentors. Oh, wow. And the mentor told me, she's the one who said, you had a hobby, you didn't have a business. Right. And it kind of hurt, but then I thought she was right. Yeah. And so I learned from those mistakes so that I could, in this next business venture, make it more successful, more profitable, and kind of change things around. Yeah. But definitely, even as an attorney is not a business person. Mm-hmm. They can advise you on the law. They can advise you on how the law affects your business, how to be in compliance with the law. Right. But actually running a business, you need to get some advice from a business person. Yeah,
it's totally different.
So
yeah, and I'm glad that you had that experience of your first business / hobby. It only proves that the first time may not be successful like you thought it would be, but then the second time around you learn from those mistakes, and and they're not necessarily mistakes. You learn from those challenges, your obstacles, and then you're able to move into something else, your law firm, and do it better and be wiser. And that's an incredible learning experience that you just don't get unless you try.
Right, I definitely agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually, we are required to have continuing education classes. So that helps you kind of stay on top of the law. Yeah. And the thing is, when I left the government, I was fully confident in my ability. Okay. I was confident in my ability to be an attorney. Okay. And that obviously comes with time. Yeah. But when you're working for someone, if they're not correcting what you're saying, that you're right, you may just not write it the way they want it to be written, or they want you to say nonetheless instead of nevertheless. Things, those semantics, right? Those type of things. Then deep down you can do it. Yeah. Whether it's the law or whatever field, once you kind of get that confidence and you can do it, it's the key is figuring out how to do it. Yeah. So that's where the kind of learning curve came, was how do I do it? Right. And so that's why I said I read the books, went to the mentors, I talked to other people, and then like I said, I do stay current on what's going on, and I look at my competitors. Yeah. I think that a lot of people for whatever reason don't do that, I subscribe to their mailing list. I attend their free webinar.
Yeah.
I want to know what's in the marketplace and what are my potential clients looking at. And I think when I created my business, I want my business to be client focused. So what are the chief complaints that customers have about attorneys? They don't return my phone calls. I'm getting better at that.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, I have an assistant that's starting very soon, and so I'm setting up a system that will guarantee that follow-ups are made periodically, so that people don't have to call. We've called them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Being proactive.
Right. So there's just kind of setting up your business to be customer focused. I think helps it in terms of being profitable and successful.
It's good that you mentioned, looking at your competition. It's not exactly that you're comparing. You're looking, this is something that you have to do in order to find out more about your clients. So whatever their struggles are, it's probably going to be your same struggles, or whatever they're trying to teach, or the community, it's probably going to be the same things that are going to be interested to you. So that's great advice for any entrepreneur in any field, to look outside and see what your market is talking about, what they're wanting to know.
And I think the other part of it, people think, a lot of times people are hesitant to actually even start. Once you get in, I think you can kind of work through some of the challenges, but sometimes the biggest challenge is just the start.
It's scary.
Right. And a lot of people will look at the market and say, well, she's doing the same exact thing, or he's doing the same exact thing. So not only do you have to have confidence in your ability, but have confidence in who you are. That regardless of the fact that there are, 1,000 Black women attorneys in Atlanta who may do something similar, or the same thing that I am. Nobody can do it like I can. Like, I bring something unique and valuable to the marketplace that people will seek me out.
Yes, there's certain people out for you.
And I think that with any business, you kind of have to go into it. A lot of times they talk about a lot of businesses failing in the first year, and one of those reasons is that they create a solution when there's no problem that exists. So you may say, I have I can develop this product that will chill water. Well, people know how to make ice. You know what I mean? So
kind of got that covered next.
But if you have a great idea and you have a great business and you think the way I do it is going to be different, even though someone else already does it, like my ice, I can put fruit in it, and or my ice, I can, my ice stays colder longer. Something like that, can go ahead and do it. But don't be discouraged that there are other people doing the same thing or similar thing to you.
That's perfect advice, because it is scary to do something when you see other people doing it, like, oh, they don't need me or anything. But it's true. There's certain people out there for you specifically.
Well, I've learned a few things. Number one, fear is always going to be there. I don't know why I thought this, but I thought that if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, then I shouldn't be fearful. That I should just be.
It comes naturally to me. Why even? Or I've been doing it for a long time. It shouldn't be scary. Like every time I get on stage, it should be easy. Like, because I've done this 1,000 times.
No, fear is always going to be there. I think the measure of a person is how you react to the fear. Do you kind of just swallow that lump in your throat and do it anyway? And then, another thing with fear, like I said, it's always going to be there. You just got to push through it. If you're not fearful of what you're doing, then you're not dreaming big enough. I mean, anybody can say, well, I know if I do X and Y, it's going to equal Z. Anybody can do that. But what about X and Y equaling A? Like, how do I kind of bring it back? Like, if you're not scared that you're not scared because not necessarily that you have everything to lose or anything like that. But if you're a little uncertain about the outcome, that makes it exciting. And that's what makes you you.
And we need that. We need that. That's what we thrive on. Even though it's scary, it's kind of like every other thing, kind of like love and friendship and all the great things. There's going to be some fear involved, but it's because there's something great on the other end. So.
And I think the other thing about fear is I'm a very what's the word, analytical person.
Yeah.
And I'm that way by, I don't know that I'm that way by nature, but I'm definitely that way by education. Because that's what law is. Analyzing facts of law. Right. And so when I think about fear, I think about what's the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario may be that I fail.
Yeah.
And then what? When I thought about leaving the job, I said, okay, the worst case scenario is that I'm going to be broke. Well, guess what? Somebody's always hiring.
There you can get another job.
It may not be the job I had, which, to be honest, wasn't the best job for me anyway.
Right.
But, McDonald's always going to be hiring. I'm not going to be homeless.
There's going to always be options.
Right. I'm not going to be homeless. I'm not going to be starving.
Yeah.
I may be a little, my pride may be hurt.
Yeah, a little bit for a short amount of time.
Yeah, but so I'm going to have the things I need. I'm going to be able to breathe. I'm going to be able to eat. I'm going to have shelter. Yeah. Even if I have to go live on my mom's couch. Yeah. It's not the end of the world.
You're going to be okay.
Right.
And I think that's what we all forget.
Right.
Because you feel like you're not going to be okay. And those emotions just spin you in the whirlwind. But at the end of the day, things are going to be fine.
Right.
And they're going to turn out how they're supposed to. How they're meant to.
You can find Samantha hosting business workshops and networking events in Atlanta. Thank you, the Holloway Firm, for protecting small businesses like me. I speak for all of us when I say we love you. Want more inspiration and interviews? Good, because there are more to come. Never miss a single one. Subscribe now. Right now.